I am Tara Montgomery, and on our broadcast tonight, we will be discussing the issue regarding child soldiers in Africa. The recruitment of children in war began in the early 1980s in the lowlands of Mozambique, and still occur throughout Africa today. Reason for these recruitments include severe poverty, despair, desire for revenge, and small population. Today, the number of these soldiers serving in the army increased and self-defense groups have emerged. Here's a clip explaining the hardships and gruesome experiences children had to go through in the amazing program, War Child, who try to help these devastated kids through this hard time.
This is Alice. She's 8 years old. She's happy and safe at home, playing with her friends and favorite toys, having her bedtime stories from Mum. Then a war starts in her country, a war she doesn't understand. It destroys the things she loves, her toys, her school, her home, her friends, her mum and dad. All the things that make her feel safe, gone. She is at daily risk of being shot at, abducted, tortured, raped, killed. For 20 years, War Child has proved that even in the worst wars, you can give a child the best possible future. With your support, War Child can protect her from the devastating effects of violence, keeping her safe, helping her cope with the traumas she's faced, getting her back to school, reuniting her with her family, giving her hope, giving her a childhood back. Together, we can protect the innocent victims of war.
Wow, such an amazing group. They really care for the children in need. A study was made about the legal recruitment age in Africa. These terms are very flexible and also depend on the country and population size. Each country has a different requirement based off their need for soldiers during a time of war. In South Africa, the legal age is 15. In Mauritania, is 16, although they are trying to raise it to 18. In Angola, 17. Burundi and Rwanda, 15 or 16. Uganda, the youngest age known today, 13. Chad is 18, however parents are encouraging the government to reduce it. Libya is 17 or younger if needed. Botswana, Kenya, and Zambia is 18. And finally, Mozambique is 18, but typically lower in a time of war. That's where we begin tonight. Now introducing Audrey Rodriguez at the scene of Maputo, Mozambique.
I'm here in the country where child recruitment first originated, Mozambique. In the beginning, it was part of the Portuguese colony, and after breaking away, they followed a Marxist-Leninist philosophy called Frelimo. As war tensions worsened in specific areas, they began to recruit child soldiers. As time went on, they indoctrinated and targeted these children for various reasons. Children were initially desired to serve because they were easily manipulated, didn't question authority, easier to condition, didn't require much food to live, and were too naive to understand the harm of their actions. Children also generally have an aggressive nature, and enlisting them in war provides an outlet for them to direct their energy towards. Girls were also recruited in places such as Liberia, given the title wartime women, but in smaller numbers than boys. Being indoctrinated really affected the society because children were abducted and forced to fight from 1976 to 1992. Not only were they uneducated, but they were sometimes forced to kill their own parents, leaving them with no family to return to after war. This issue is still occurring today because children make up the majority of Africa's population. 1/3 of the renowned soldiers are kids. The most popular areas of recruitment include Central African Republic, Democratic Republic of Congo, Somalia, and Sudan. A rebel commander in the Democratic Republic of Congo stated, "Children make good fighters because they're young and want to show off. They think it's all a game, so they're fearless." Now back to the studio with Taryn.
This problem in Africa is very serious, and we know Joseph Kony is the man responsible for making children serve in the LRA. 2 years ago, in 2012, a group called Invisible Children launched a Kony 2012 video that had gotten 1 million hits in less than a week on YouTube, breaking the record at that time. They raised $20 million to try to find Joseph Kony, who is responsible for mass killings, rapes, and indoctrination of child soldiers. This video made him the most famous man in the world, easily spotted from anywhere. Yet he is still free and MIA. Going back to Mozambique, Audrey has sat down and interviewed an ex-child soldier from Uganda.
Hello, I'm here with Karabo, an 18-year-old ex-child soldier. Karabo, tell me, how was life as a child soldier?
At first, I did not mind the war. Joseph Kony always told me that it was a duty to our country. It was almost like a game. But now, looking back, I can see the atrocities I have committed, and I regret killing my parents.
Where do you attend school?
I could not go to school because I spent all my time at war. Now, I am continuing my education, and I'm just able to read and write.
Why did you listen to the officers' terrible demands?
I did not understand the severity of my action. They told me it was right, and I believed I was serving my country. If I failed to meet their demands, they would torture me, or even worse, kill me. I am very lucky to be alive today.
Thank you so much for talking to me today, Karabo.
You're welcome. I just want to inform people what is happening in Africa now.
And we thank you for that. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Audrey. Not only did Karabo get affected by Kony's actions and demands, but a young boy named Jacob talked about how he feels living in Gulu, Uganda at that moment. Before this interview, his brother was murdered by a rebel because he was trying to escape. The rebel slit his throat, and Jacob could only helplessly watch as his brother took his final breaths.
It is better when you kill us. And if possible, you can kill us, you kill us. For us, we don't want now to stay because
you don't want to stay on Earth.
We are only two, no one taking care of us. We are not going to school. So
you would rather die than stay on Earth.
Yes.
Even now.
Even now. How are we going to stay in our future?
He told me more about his brother and what he would say to him if he were still alive.
I love you, but now I miss you. So it is better when we meet. We are going, even if we are not going to meet, but we may meet in heaven, you see. So it is better. I will not talk much. I will start something. Because if I saw my brother once again, I don't.
It's okay. Jacob, it's okay.
Everything in my heart told me to do something. And so I made him a promise.
And we are also going to do everything that we can to stop them.
Yes.
Do you hear my words?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
We're going to stop them.
Now I'd like to discuss the long-lasting consequences of recruiting children in war. Many children were forced to take drugs and alcohol, which could affect their mental and physical health later in their lives. In Sierra Leone, a journalist from the newspaper Le Figaro observed that most of the rebels are under the age of 14 and under the influence. In addition, many children were abused and influenced by war around them, causing them to display violence throughout their lives. And as well, their families were broken apart, never to see each other again. As Grace Mako said, war violates every right of a child, the right to life, the right to be with family and nurtured and respected.